Hello, Aries. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Tarot Illuminati by Eric C. Dunn. Supportive Oracle cards, the Halloween Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. Found it, we're using it. Woo! In case you've seen another video where I've whined about not being able to find it. I found it, clearly. Alright, what do we have for Aries? You got double cards, and I'm already very intrigued. Like, what are we saying here with these double cards? Is this literally? Yeah, that's it. All right. So, all right, let's see how long this one lasts, because there's not a lot out here, but whatever the message is, it's here. Okay, it's starting off with eternal love. I feel like a lot of you, it feels like a friendship, just to be fair. I'm not one to believe that when you hear love, it's always about romance. It's about a lot of different things. But like, this is like a friendship. This could be a coworker for some of you that, you know, you just seem to like click. Whatever you do, they support that. Whatever they do, you support that. Like, it's almost like one of you does this and hands it off to the other, and you're like, exactly what I needed, and you finish it off, or vice versa. You kind of hand things back and forth. You know, you watch each other's back. You like how the other communicates, and it's like what I start, the other one helps me finish, or vice versa. It's a very kind of like the other person has like a missing pieces, or like when I'm stuck and I can't think of how to move forward next, they're like, how about this? And you're like, that's a good idea. And you do that for them as well. Could be a romantic thing. I will give you that. Definitely could be. But what I'm getting here, especially with the bones, like this is something that's deeper. If it's a romance thing, when you first met this person, you felt like you knew them before. Because I'm getting this as like a soul group thing. It feels like whoever this person is, like when I say soul group, it's kind of like when you first meet somebody, there's just something about them that seems familiar. Some people are some people can more easily identify that than others. But it's just kind of like, or maybe just eerily comfortable with somebody, and you're just like, I don't know why I'm so comfortable with this person. I just seem to be. For some people, it comes across like that. Just to be fair, it's a connection like that. And what I'm getting here, the apple is a very it's very much intuitive for the moment. However, I'm reading it because the red drips here. There's red drips on the hand. If I can get it close enough, I think you can easily see that. There's red drips coming off that hand. And my first thought, because I like sugar way too much, is that it's like a candy apple that it's too warm, and the stickiness is dripping off, like it's melting off, like it's like the candy part is melting off. But you notice there's a heart in the center of this one. They do give the words risk and reward here. I'm getting like the candy coating is wearing off. I keep getting that. And when I'm getting that, that makes me feel like, you know, the niceties are pretty much done. This person is maybe coming forward a little bit differently. Something is changing here. There may be a competition or a perceived competition to them. They may believe that you're in competition for the same thing they want, whatever it is. A person's attention, a position, a possibility, a grant, whatever it is, maybe a job, a promotion. I get a lot of work things, I'm noticing. It's not confined or limited to that. It's just what I'm getting. So I'm getting, when they see you as a challenger or or competition, even though I really do feel like this is a soul group thing, their negative qualities might rear their ugly head. And even though the two of you really do mesh very well, when they see you as competition, they might actually change how they treat you. And they might not be the ally in that moment that they usually are. It's almost like competition is getting the better of this person. I feel like most of us have come across this when somebody's really good, seems like a really good friend or connection or ally, and that until it seems like they feel like they're competing with you against for something, and then all of a sudden it just goes negative, and they start treating you poorly, and they start doing maybe some unscrupulous things. Because I'm feeling that is coming in, and I'm getting like this is a hard stop. It's like a hard that. Ooh, like no, like wait, what? It's kind of like wait, I can't believe. Wait, what? And we're putting on the brakes real fast. It's a very interesting card. The Death card comes in with the eternal cycle begins here, but when I'm feeling the Death card here, I'm getting like this is really bothering you. Kind of like wait a minute, hold on. This person, like, I feel like you're kind of like that's like. It's kind of like if you're competing for the same thing, I feel like the way you're looking at it is kind of like, all right, I understand you fighting to get it, but it's the unscrupulous part. It's kind of like you understand that like they're gonna fight to get what they want, but it's kind of like we should be having a fair fight. We shouldn't be pulling underhanded tricks. And I feel like this other person is doing that. Something unscrupulous, something underhanded, or to you at least it's underhanded, just to be fair. Even if somebody else would argue about if it's underhanded or not, to you interpret it as underhanded. And it's kind of like, well, wait a minute. I completely respect you fighting for what you want and what you want to get and doing your best, but it should be an honorable fight. We shouldn't be like pulling the rug out from each other, poking each other in the eye and biting each other just to get what we want. It should be, face to face, evenly squared off, whatever we got to do, debate it out, whatever we got to do. But it should be a respectful competition. And I think this is where this is really throwing you off. Like you would be okay with a respectful competition, but this person is doing some unscrupulous stuff, and you're kind of like, oh, that's a hard stop. Apparently, you're not who I thought you were because I'm not. I don't tolerate that. Like that's not a friend energy. That's not good. I don't tolerate that. No. You're not who I thought you were. Hard stop. Whatever this moment is, it seems to go on for a while. This competition goes on for a while, but I feel like once the first underhanded whatever it is that happens, you're done. I don't feel like there's a conversation about it at that moment, but I feel like once that has happened to you, it can't unhappen, if you know what I mean. Like once it's done, it's done. It's not about forgiveness, it's about seeing somebody in a different light, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know, it's not about forgiveness. I don't know how to say this. It's kind of like, I thought you were this person, but when you did that, I realized you're actually this person. You're a different person than I thought. And that type of person that you actually are is, like, that's how you're looking at this person. The person that they actually are is not somebody you really want around you. And it's kind of like, it's not about forgiveness, it's just about seeing somebody for who they really are and realizing that's not okay. So, I don't know, I hope that comes across right, because it's not like you're angry or an apology could help. It doesn't matter. It's like seeing them for who they really are, and that changes things. You can't unsee that. You can't experience that. Because the devil comes in with the Lovers after this. It comes near the end. At some point, you realize, there's some qualities with this person I really do love, and I really do care about, and I really wish that was the way this could have continued. But now that I've seen their darker half, the Devil card, this isn't good. I don't want this. Like, they may have really good qualities, but when those bad qualities come, I never know when they'll happen. I already seen them rear up once, and they were bad. I just don't feel like I want to leave myself vulnerable to somebody who could show these qualities at any time again. And when I need them the most, instead of them being the positive energy, they come forward with the negative, and then they stab me in the back. And I just can't have that. I feel like it takes you a moment to really deal with this. It's complicated on both sides, because on your side you have the Mummy, but behind it you have the Zombie, which is, the Zombie is like control, but it's almost like something kind of like, something is leaving. It just doesn't feel right anymore. once I see the truth of it, it's kind of like when the daylight comes and I see what this is really is, it's kind of like, it's something that it's been dead for a while. It's kind of how I feel about it. It's like, it may be still animated, but it's dead. It may be still walking around, but it's dead. It's kind of like, when I'm feeling zombie, and I am an intuitive reader, just to be fair, I'm getting like this idea of like seeing a family member walking around as a zombie, and you're kind of like, that's not my family member anymore. That's a zombie. That's not, like, the person I loved and cared about isn't there anymore. And it's kind of like, that's how this feels. This feels like you're looking at a zombie. And the Mummy is kind of like you're trying to hold it together and hide how you really feel. And I feel like it's kind of like it's been ruined. It's been ruined, and you can't unsee it. You can't unexperience this moment. And you see them in a totally different light. It may be still like you're still getting along and you're still hanging out for now, maybe. But it's kind of like it's on its last legs. It's got an expiration date. It's like a zombie. It's like dealing with a zombie. It's actually dead. It's just still animated. On the other side, they have the Brownback, the Brownback bread. Can never say it right. I'm not good with words. I'm sure a lot of people realize that who watch me often. And behind that, they have graveyard. Like, okay, it says something there. Unnecessary fear. All right, I don't know. That's what it says, but what I'm getting is like their time is done. Their time is done, and I feel like they know it. I feel like they're trying to like smooth it over, and they're trying to make excuses for what happened, and I feel like they're actually, because they know this is ending, they're trying to save it. But I feel like when you're seeing this happen, you're just seeing a lot of tricks, and you're just like, no, I've seen who you are. I know who you really are. I know that there's things in this bread. I know that there's a lot of little things in this bread, and it's like you can't make a sandwich out of that. It's kind of like there's a ring in there, there's a pea in there, there's a stick in there, there's a coin in there. Who knows what else is in there? A piece of cloth, I think. There's a lot of things in there, and that's not. I know there's a lot of hidden things in this bread. There's a lot of hidden things in this person, and it's done, and they know it's done. That's the thing. They know you're done. I feel like what they're trying to tell you is like once this happens, sooner or later you're going to move on from this. I don't think it's going to be too eventful. Just otherwise, it's just gonna peter out. Because the Six of Swords is saying you're going to move on from this person. This is kind of done. Once whatever happened back here happened, you can't unsee it. You can't unexperience it. You can't not see it anymore. Like, you just can't erase it. You're like, it's not about forgiveness. It's about seeing somebody for who they really are. And once you see them for who they really are, again, it's not about forgiveness. It's just kind of like, well, now that I know who they really are, that's not somebody I really want in my life. And that's just what it is. I feel like this reading is basically about, like, once it starts happening, just accept it and just let it transition out. Because I feel like you might, for some reason, a lot of you might try to save it or try to go along with it. Maybe it'll just pass. But your deeper feelings will not allow that. No, I see them for who they are, and I have to move on. I feel like they're just giving you a heads up that sooner or later you will move on from this. It's kind of sad because I feel like at one point it was really good, but it's just, you can't unsee it. You can't unexperience what happened, and it's just kind of like, no, I know who they are now. It's different. It's not about forgiveness. It's just about who they are. And I don't feel like you're taking any animosity with this. It's just kind of like, we're done. That's it. That's it. All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.